Good evening, welcome back, friends, colleagues.
Family.
Is that a monkey in the room? Is
Oh, yeah, I brought my car around.
oh okay. Guys, it's late. Sue let the trunk monkey come into the house. He's hanging out with us today. Um, does your trunk monkey drink tequila? I mean, what is that? Anyway,
What is your
anyway.
trunk monkey drink? I mean, y- it's got a club. It drinks anything it wants to.
Yeah, exactly. No, trunk. Trunk.
Hmm. You have to be in all the channels simultaneously to catch all the jokes.
Simultaneously, yeah, because if you, I'm sorry, if you're not omnipresent in the chat rooms, you don't get it all.
Oh, we might be a little
Anyway,
punchy here tonight. Sorry, guys.
well, yeah, it's late. Okay, so here's what happened. First of all, welcome to another Network Empire Impromptu webinar hosted by Sue Bell and Mike Clay. Yay!
Yay!
Give me a one if this is the first impromptu webinar y'all have ever come and hung out with us on.
One. Oh,
We're not talking mentally. I don't come to these things mentally either. That doesn't count. All right. So we got a handful of newbies. Well, guys, welcome to your first impromptu webinar. If you don't know how the impromptu webinars work, they are not scheduled. They're impromptu.
ooh.
Here's what happens. People start asking me questions. If I end up with 2 or 3 people in private asking me the similar questions, I'm like, forget it. I'm explaining this once. I'm explaining it on screen, and we're going to record it and go through the video somewhere.
Yes.
For the MDM level 3 and level 4, I do a lot of impromptu webinars. We had 1 week for the level 4 group where I did like 5 impromptu webinars. Fran was like, "Where's the link for this one? Where's the link for this one? Where's the link?" But yeah, we do these just to help y'all answer questions a little faster because, guys, here's the thing. I have carpal tunnel. I don't really like to type that much. It's easier for me to talk. So let's get on here. Let's talk. Let's have fun. All right, guys. So tonight's impromptu. Sue, guess what the questions I was getting tonight was?
What's in a blueprint?
What's in a blueprint? How do you know what to charge on the back end? Was the other question I have.
Oh my
And
goodness.
yeah, and we're not going to go into that in a lot of detail tonight.
Oh, darn.
Well, I'll skim it, but I'm not going to spend 2 hours explaining it.
All right.
But
I could tell him what we
here's
were
the
talking
confusion.
about beforehand.
Yeah, well, here's the confusion. We're not pulling that one out.
Okay.
That blue. Wait, hold on. Where are we at? Let's just hit escape real quick. We're not pulling out this blueprint. It's not
Oh,
coming out.
you're just awful.
We're not pulling out the $15,000 blueprint. It's just we're
You're
keeping it hidden.
you're awful.
So I know I'm evil. It's impromptu. These are worse than uncensored.
Right?
Yeah. Welcome to my world.
Mr.
So
Evil.
so so the questions I had a couple of people asking about the Dave's asking what about the $1,500 blueprint or the $4,000 blueprint. The one we're getting ready to walk through falls into that price range. All right. This was not the original blueprint. I'm not going to show y'all the original blueprint. Y'all would laugh at me, and then you would go, "Oh my gosh, someone paid for that." Because the original blueprint was I exported the Excel spreadsheet out of Domain Web Studio, and I cleaned up the columns a little bit, and then walked the client through it. That was the original blueprint. I
So,
charged $1,200 for that.
yeah. It was basically just a website design, just the structure of the website.
Here's your silo structure and what articles you need and how many articles you need to put in your blog and in your social media. Yeah, that's what I did, and I charged $1,200 for it, and they loved it. And over time, it got really big, really quick. Like we started printing out on blueprint paper, like the whole plan and all that stuff, and it never looked the way I wanted it to look. And then we started building these, which are Google Slides or PowerPoints. We started building these and walking clients through them this way, plus giving them the raw data, all the Excel spreadsheets and stuff. And this is what has stuck, because this is just, it's resonated the best with the clients. They look at it. We went back and redid one and showed it to a client, and he got ticked off at me because he's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "We just paid like all this money for marketing demographics, and you come back in here with this at a third of the price, and your data is 10 times better. Are you serious?" I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. He's like, "No, I feel like this other company ripped me off because their stuff was all fluff. It was just junk." Um, but that's the story for another day. So the questions here's the 3 questions I've had. 1, what all goes into a blueprint? The answer to that is depends on how much you want to sell it for and how much actual consulting you want to do. It can go anywhere from the basic one, which we're getting ready to show you, all the way up to a $15,000, $20,000 or like a $45,000 one spread out over 6 months, to where you're doing it in segments over a 6-month time frame. And in that 6 months, you're still doing no digital marketing. You're doing no SEO. It's all planning. Which I have 3 people on the hook for that deal right now. I'm trying to sell one of those just to see if I can. How do we know what the month-to-month cost to implement this is going to be on the back end? Guys, the whole idea of the blueprint is to not have to know what that back end cost is until after the blueprint's done. That way you can use this to get more money on the back end, right?
Exactly.
Give me a 1 if you like the idea of getting more money on the back end and not competing with the other guys on price. What? No ones? Everybody went to sleep?
I'll give you
there we go. That's not a 1, that's an exclamation point.
He has shift down.
Oh, shift's down, okay. Right, he tried to give me a capital 1. I got it.
Yeah.
And Robin, we'll make sure someone. I'm pretty sure Sue can handle that. All right, so let's dive into this, guys. Let's dive into this. All right, so City Boy Survival. First of all, understand City Boy Survival is not a real client. It used to be a real website. Matter of fact, I think the domain name is still out there in my account. City Boy Survival was a hobby of mine where I started doing drop shipping of camping supplies and outdoor supplies to support my bad habit of buying gadgets for camping and goofing around outside. Hey, it let me buy boot knives wholesale. All right, just deal with it. Go with it. So, City Boy Survival was a real website. It was a real marketing campaign. But this data, the data in here is not necessarily correct. The data is in here to show you and to give you a tool to show potential clients. Does that sound good? I hope so, because that's what it is. All right, so in the overview, first thing we do is we go over the silo architecture and syndication. Then we talk about the website layout and why you need a specific website layout. Then we go into the actual silo structure, looking at the Google Trends, the ROI report, and the ROI report is split into 2 different sections. We split it into the paid advertising and the organic ROI. The reason we split it into paid advertising and organic ROI, by the way, guys, I'm walking you through this the same way I would a client right now. I'm doing this so you can hear how I do it. The reason we split it up into paid advertising and organic advertising, or organic, is so that by looking at the paid advertising, we see where all your competitors are spending their money. So it lets us see where the capital is. It lets us see and guesstimate buyer's intent. And if we can kind of guesstimate the buyer's intent, we have an idea of where to focus. It also helps us in calculating where the conversions can be and where the potential profits show up at. We're also going to look at the competition, and then we're going to go into content distribution and how content needs to be developed. All right, everybody up to speed. Give me a 2 if you're up to speed, and we're good to keep going.
3.
3, 2, there we go, boom. All right, so silo architecture and syndication. It's really simple. When you have your website, think of it this way. Every link on your page is going to another page. So if you have your home page, and your home page is linking to a handful of pages, and that's linking to a handful of pages, and that's linking to a handful of pages, it starts building out an architecture of your website. When we talk about silo architecture, what we're talking about is segmenting each one of those sections and keeping everything within a concept, within a theme, and within an idea separated. It stays by itself. We do not put Xbox games on the same page as refrigerators. The refrigerators hang out over here on the left, the Xbox games hang out on the right. Now, over here with the Xbox games, an Xbox controller can hang out over there. It's related. It's in the same thing. But the microwave's not welcome. It has to go over here and hang out with the refrigerator, right? So what silo architecture really is it's being able to build out your website, segment your website, and keep everything in the same theme so that the search engines can more easily index it, rank it, and then know how to show it to people looking. Because you're doing this in a way that makes it easier for the search engines, you don't have to work as hard to get the results. So by properly siloing your system and your website, you get more for less work. Who here likes to work less and get more?
Me.
Yeah, exactly. So here's kind of how it works. You have your main website, because we've talked about how we're going to be building a radio station, right? And if you have not heard my radio station analogy, get into Sell Blueprints first, listen to it. It's there. My wife is a wonderful wife. She just brought me Sicilian pistachio ice cream. Hold on. Isn't that beautiful? All right, yeah. So, all right, Sicilian pistachio. Beautiful stuff. All right, Sicilian, yeah. So when we're talking about websites, silos, and all that, we're not talking about building a website. We're not talking about doing SEO on a website. Remember, we're talking about digital marketing. And when we're talking about digital marketing, what we're really talking about doing is building you a broadcast platform. This platform works like a radio station. Think of your website as ground central and as the main part of the radio station. You're the on-air talent as the client, and I'm the technician in the booth. My job is to sit in the booth, make sure the sounds are leveled and the power is turned on. My job is, when you step into the booth, to flip the switch so that when you speak, everything is syndicated out. As that is syndicated out, it goes out to other places and other properties. These are places and properties where people hang out, people listen. You know, how many of your friends are on Facebook? Does your grandmother send you puppy pictures on Facebook? Do you have to send pictures of the grandkids to your mother on Facebook? I do. How about Twitter? How about all these other places, right? So it's all about the syndication. As you go on air as the expert, you're able to syndicate, and that syndication goes out and brings traffic back in. We don't stop there. We also are going to other locations like press releases, local directory listings, YouTube channels, and many, many other places to work on this syndication channel. It's what we call the web ring, the perpetual web ring system. I've already shown it to you. It's the u-everywhere.com. Okay, guys, are you seeing how I explain this to the clients? How I'm staging this? How I'm setting it up step by step? Right? Give me a 1 if you're keeping up with me. Okay. Give me a 3 if this is kind of what you needed to see and hear.
I mean,
Well, Dave, I am so glad you're here tonight because now you know how to pitch it.
right?
Go use the slide deck. So in pitching it to a client, though, Dave, I don't go into this much detail. I summarize everything I'm saying right now when I'm pitching it. So, all right. So when we're talking about a website, when we're talking about everything, proper website architecture is needed, but also having proper call to action and proper structure of articles matters. In other words, look, it doesn't matter if your website's pretty. A pretty website can suck. A pretty website can keep people from buying things from you. So what we do, and I do different ones, it depends on what they're selling and what they're doing as to what the landing pages look like, okay? But we go in, we build wireframes. These are wireframes from a client's blueprint that we just yanked out and put in here tonight. So, Dave, you have access to Sell Blueprints First? There's a link inside the Sell Blueprints First area to this exact presentation. You have it. Go in there, copy it to your account, and change it a little bit if you need to for your stuff, and you're gold. Okay, you're good, man. Just kind of listen to how I'm doing it tonight, and you're good. You want to change it. The radio illustration I just used, use that in your pitch. Okay, so let's dive into the silo structure real quick. Remember, we're going to look at the pay-per-click first, and then we're going to look at the organic, and then we're going to look at the competition. Now, this is just a demo, so we're only going to go through one silo, but we have a couple of different silos in here, just so you can see what they are. All right, first thing is for bug-out bags. Now, guys, this is a demo blueprint. You might not know what a bug-out bag is. A bug-out bag, for those of us who are, we like to hang out outside. We like to be prepared. We're living Boy Scouts. We're always prepared. The bug out bag is that backpack, that little small pack you carry around with you that if everything goes bad, I can pick it up and I can bug out. I can get up and get out of Dodge and I'm good for 72 hours with what's in my bag. Right? That's my bug out bag. I actually have one. It's sitting on the other side of my desk. It is ready to go. Right? Although it doesn't have a Glock in it, I'm working on that. So what we can see, though, is over the years, the trends of people looking for bug-out bags are going up. Now, if you pay attention to the spikes, you can see kind of where the trends are and that more and more people are looking for this. We can also look at it from a national level and look at what areas focus on it more. I can tell you right now, the reason Atlanta, Georgia is so big on bug-out bags is because I've done a ton of research, and I'm probably the one that skewed that number. Just throwing that out there.
That's funny.
It really is. So when we're starting to dive into this, on the pay-per-click end of it, you start seeing where people are spending the money and what phrases they're spending money on. Like bug-out bags, right there. That's the one thing I don't like about the presentations is I can't highlight things. All right. So you can start looking at the monthly spend, right? So bug-out bags right there, $766 a month. Bug-out bag list, $526. So if you're wanting to build a website dealing with bug-out bags, look, 125 clicks into the website and $526 a month in ad spend. 125 clicks into the website. Here's my question, guys. Out of this list, bug out bag list, remember that landing page I showed you where they have the sign up form on the right hand side? You think you can do the whole get your 3-day course on how to build your bug out bag and have the perfect list of what should be in it? Boom, there's your landing page, there's your keyword, target it, rock and roll, right? So that's the pay-per-click. It's showing you kind of where the money is in the market. Now, organic. This is what you kind of need to look for. It's where everything happens. So in this, and Sue, I know the way I'm getting ready to explain this is technically wrong, but this is how I explain it to clients because it increases the lifetime value of the client. So just kind of slide with it for a minute. you know what I'm getting ready to say. just slide with it. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll let Sue correct me after I'm done saying it, just so you can hear the technical, accurate part versus the marketing sales guy part. So here's what we're looking at, guys. In this market, because we know how much you said your product was, how much profit you made, we know how much traffic we're going to potentially get into the website based off of knowing what your conversion ratio is, that you need 10 people to make one sale, and with the profit margin you said you were going to get, we now know approximately how much in sales you're going to do per month per phrase. Now, let's take that to another level. Not only do we know what your potential ROI is on this, we also know approximately how long it's going to take you to rank for that. So look, there's $20,000 a month. It will take you no time to rank. Here's the thing, that does not mean tomorrow when we launch your website you're ranking for this, because we need 6 supporting articles for this and 7 backlinks into this area. And this number doesn't count until we have these numbers. You have to have the content for the rankings to take place. Sue, do you want to correct me now?
No, you're completely right.
But here's the thing. You don't have to have 100% of all these green articles to rank for the gray and the blue. The gray is the silo, the blue is the category.
True.
That's how I explain it, because they want to take over the whole market. A lot of people just focus on the landing page. I want the articles as well. I want everything to rank.
Sure.
I want them to have to build 300 articles. Clint, you're asking how we come up with the numbers? The drills from keywords, the drills from Kraken, dumping into Domain Web Studio and Kraken in them, does the math in the background. You put in the business rules, it'll spit this out. This is the cut up version of the Excel spreadsheet directly from Domain Web Studio. This comes from the software from Network Empire. Is everybody clear on that? I didn't make these numbers up. These come from the software. Give me a 1 if that's clear. Give me a 2 if you have no idea what I just said.
Or no idea where the software is.
Yeah, or no idea what software we're talking about. Okay, I think
really
people are
got
falling
2
asleep
people to
on me.
respond.
Oh, there we go.
It's somewhere. Hey, would you pull up the software sheet? It's just /software.
It's in the members area, right?
Yeah, there's one in both members and www.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, that's cool. Hang on. Go see what the URL is.
There it is. Found it.
Awesome.
It doesn't work in the members area.
Only in www. Okay.
Yep. So if you're logged in and you go to networkempire.com/software, Here's the list. If you're in the basic bundle, you have access to that. The pro bundle, which if you're in the MDM course at any level except prep, right? If you're in MDM level 3, you have all of that. You have access to all that.
Yep.
Okay. So Domain Web Studio, you just jump over here and click the link. It'll take you to Domain Web Studio. And then keywords by Network Empire, and so on. Now, if you've not built one of these before, start with the Network Empire Builder Pro or Network Empire Builder Lite. DWS Pro, there's extra things in there. I use DWS Pro. Dave, you joined MDM level 3, right? The one that we just launched today?
Yep.
You have, yeah. So you have from here up. So you have DWS Pro, Keywords by Network Empire Builder Pro, and the Deep Silo plugin, and so on. Okay? So you have it. Pain Finder is really cool once you go through the training. Make sure you go through niche domination and learn how to use it. Okay? So DWS is right there. And, I'll just log into DWS real quick. Let's see. Here's City Voice Trial right there. Just kind of ignore all the client accounts right there, and yeah. Shh, don't say anything. All right. So here's the raw data directly out of Domain Web Studio. It's the same spreadsheet, guys. I come in and we collapse this down into one column. So silo, category, and supporting articles, we collapse those into one column. We take out the keyword ID, keyword excluded in syndication blueprint. We take some of these things out. Because, okay, keyword ID, it only matters inside Domain Web Studio. It does not matter in the blueprint the client sees. Is the keyword excluded in the blueprint? Doesn't matter. If it is, we're not going to show it to the client anyway. And then we split it up into whether or not it's pay-per-click or organic. And guys, here's why we do that. You ready for that? Because when we showed the client the entire spreadsheet, they were like a deer in headlights and had absolutely no idea what they were looking at. And then I was trying to figure out how to put it into a PowerPoint presentation and realized, well, maybe I should just split it into 2 pages. So I split it into 2 pages, and then something miraculous happened. The client actually knew what I was talking about. It was amazing. It was a miracle. So the whole 2 separate things, PPC and organic, that was not planned. That was, how do I fit these on 1 page? I can't split it in 2 pages. Oh, it worked better.
Nice.
Trial and error, guys. Trial and error. All right. That's where it's coming from. It's coming out of that software. All right. Now, here is how we watch. So let me go back here to here real quick. Let me go over to Style Framework. There we go. Now, in my business rules and my business filters, I am looking at my average domain authority, which is currently 30. I know a 30 or lower domain authority does not need a whole heap of load of work. I can get by with a WebRing 1, social WebRing 1, and maybe a PinVid site linking into the categories, right? Not too much work. I mean, a little bit of work. It's a lot of work to set that up, but it's not a ton of work. So I already know what I'm building out. So by the time I get to here and I'm talking to the client, I know what I'm building out. Now, if I'm pitching the client, I skim through this. I explain time to rank and that you have to have the articles and backlinks before you rank. You have to have the articles before you rank. Get this, guys. If a client calls you up and says, hey, why am I not ranking? If you're the radio guy in the booth and you flip the switch and no one goes on air, meaning the client's not giving you content that you're telling them they need to give you, and they're not ranking on the front page of Google, and they're calling you to complain about not being on the front page of Google, do you know what you get to say? Why am I not ranking on the front page of Google? Here's what Mike says. Where's my content? Quit being a slacker. Give me my content. I already told you, until I have 6 articles, you can't rank. But it says 0 months. Yeah, I have 1 article. Now look, you're on page 2. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We worked a miracle. We got you to page 2. Give me 3 more articles. I can get you to the bottom of page 1. We can start getting you some traffic. Because traffic's all that matters. Rankings don't matter. Traffic matters. Give me something to send out to the network. Right? Because think of it. They're thinking rankings. I immediately go back into the syndication. If I don't have something to send out to the network, people aren't hearing you. If people aren't hearing you, they're not coming back to your website. Did we just totally ignore rankings and go into traffic and ROI? Why, yes. Yes, we did. That's how we're doing this. If the client asks me, do I direct them on where they can get the content? Yeah, I direct them where they can get the content. I tell them to go make it. They're the expert. And we work with a lot of like personal injury attorneys and stuff like that. I've had a personal injury attorney going, hey, can we just go out and buy articles? I'm like, sure, you can go buy articles. You can go buy articles from someone that doesn't speak English as their primary language to get them to write about legal things so that you can sound like an absolute moron. Sure, that sounds like a phenomenal marketing idea, and I say it with that level of sarcasm. And they laugh at me. I'm like, come on. This is your marketing. Do you want to be a superhero, or do you want to be the local clown? If you're going to be the superhero, if you're going to be the voice of your industry, you have to go on air. Now, I'm going to tell you what articles, I'm going to tell you what you need to write about. I'm going to give you article titles to write about. And it's going to be like 3 ways to develop your emergency bag. 3 items you have to have in your emergency bag. 5 ways on planning out your emergency bag. If I give you titles like that, can you go down and figure that out and give me an article? Sure they can. They're experts at what they do. If you give them titles like that, they can get you content. Does that make sense? Don't let them, if they say they're too busy, then you're like, then why are you talking about doing marketing? If you're too busy to be an expert, why are we doing marketing? Oh, well, no, we need more business. Okay, so you don't have business, but you're too busy to do what you need to do to be the expert to get business. That doesn't make sense to me. Please explain. It's all about helping the client get out of their own way. When a client's wanting to buy content, it's because they're wanting to be lazy and take shortcuts. Well, but what they don't understand is the shortcut they're wanting to take, and a lot of times in this industry we allow them to take because we don't want to argue with them about it. The shortcut they're trying to take is they're trying to get results of an expert, of an industry leader, while letting someone that is not an industry leader be the voice for their business. They're taking their reputation and their brand and they're outsourcing it. And as soon as you let them understand that mindset, they're now on board. They know, oh, really? You're wanting to outsource your brand and your reputation? How long have you spent building your business? How many millions of dollars have you invested in your business? And you're going to outsource your voice? You're going to let someone else speak on your behalf that doesn't know your industry, that's not an expert. You're going to let them act like an expert on your behalf with your name. And you expect that to work. As soon as you explain it to a business owner from that position, they now think the concept of letting an SEO guy buy articles for their website is absurd. No one's coming in behind you and selling this guy. By the way, remember in the presentation earlier tonight when I said positioning is everything? Yeah, Sue didn't know I was going to go into positioning. By the way, I didn't either. It's getting late. but give me a 1 if that helps you understand the power of what we're using here as a sales tool. Yeah. Dave, you're pitching tomorrow. Is this kind of the mindset you need to be able to walk into that meeting? Is this helping you? Good. Good, because I want you to sell tomorrow, by the way. Now, here's the thing. Dave, are you presenting the blueprint tomorrow? Are you presenting this tomorrow? Okay. Since you're okay, so this is the opening conversation where you're shifting them in there. All right, here's the thing. Tomorrow's goal is not to get money. Tomorrow's goal, don't even talk about money. Talk about the blueprint, get them into thinking about blueprinting, set up a meeting to go over this. Tomorrow's meeting is 10 minutes. Shift them into marketing and set up a meeting to go over this right here. That's your goal tomorrow. Sell this. Okay? Trust me. You're in the MDM3 level. Go sell this meeting. We'll talk in the MDM3 level, and I'll explain it in detail as to what your next step is. Because we're closing this deal. It's not even optional. We're going to do this. It's done. All right. And then, we go into some of the competitive analysis and all that. Now, with the competitive analysis, we also can go into, and let's skip over some of this stuff, we also can go into content distribution schedules as far as you want to do this in 12 months. Here's the schedule of when articles need to come out and what articles need to do. Now, guys, the reason I'm skimming this real quick, Sue, all this is changing in the software, right? Or maybe?
Eventually.
Eventually? Okay. So, yeah. I paper rock scissor this. I don't always use this. I don't always put it in there. You don't really need it. You need something similar to this. You don't need that. But what you do need is this month I need this much content, and you can go back up to here and pick which silo you're working on and just put in those are the supporting articles I need this many titles on. Matter of fact, so the content schedule that Liz uses, should we just put that into the sell blueprints first? Or no, not sell blueprints first, the MDM3 course?
We can, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll put that content schedule in there. And then I go back in because they've seen this. This is a really bad Photoshop version of the U-Everywhere website, right? I go over how this is the radio station and it's syndicating out to the network and then it's coming back in. And here's some of the primary, here's some of the properties that we're going to be using in this. Okay? Now, then it comes down to where the guy is wanting to talk to me about how much money he's going to have to spend per month. I'm like, well, you know what? Here's the thing. If I can show you how in 1 month I can increase your margin to $72,000 in sales, or actually, you know what? Even forget that. Not even $72,000 in sales. If I can show you how first quarter we can get you up to another 20,000, 22,000, 23, 24, 24, and then let's just say 31,000 on this one silo. How we can just spend a little bit of time, a little bit of work. You be the expert. I'll coach you. I'll help you be the expert, and I can show you how you can get to an extra 31,000 in revenue. Is that worth 10% of that? See, guys, we're not letting them talk to us about, oh no, we want to do SEO for $100 a month. We want to do SEO for $1,200 a month. Tell you what, why don't we do it for $3,500 a month? I'm that column right there lets you set the price.
Right.
Here's the thing. He wants to get to 132,000 a month revenue. That's worth 10 grand to me. Here's the question. How much does he want that $132,000? Does he want it $10,000 worth? The month-to-month is not hard to pitch once you show them that column right there. And the month-to-month, as long as you are within what they can afford today, like they're not making $132,000 a month right now. You know that. You know they're probably not doing anywhere near these numbers right now. This is 10 to 20 times more than what they're currently earning. So, what if we did the first quarter at $2,500 a month, second quarter at $7,500 a month, and we'll grow as we take over the market. The more of the market we take over, the more you pay us, because we'll be managing more. Or, if you're looking at it and you know it's not going to be hard work, it's just going to be like 5 hours a month to manage the client, we'll do it for $4,500 a month. Give me a 1 if you kind of understand how I kind of read the client. All right, what I'm doing is I'm reading the client, I'm seeing where they're at, and I adjust what I pitch them based off this column. So the question that came back immediately was, is the data accurate? Stephen, basically what you're asking me is the data accurate? The data is as accurate as what the client gave us. If the client did not give us true profit margins, if the client didn't give us real numbers for their business, then no, this isn't accurate. They have to be honest. You're there as a consultant to help them with marketing. If they can't be honest with their consultant who's going to help them grow their business, then their numbers aren't going to be accurate. But I'm telling you, once you pitch it to them like this, it doesn't matter. And here's the thing, when I'm explaining blueprinting to them, I show them this column, we spend a little bit of time in this column, and I explain, look guys, if this was your company to get to 132,000 a month, you would need to get me 7 articles. I would need to go get 8 backlinks into this, and it would take us about 30 days after that to do it. Now, here's the thing. Is that all it takes? Well, there's this whole syndication. If you have a WR1, WRS1 with the one feed running Social Explosion, yada, 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 you basically have the full WR1, WRS1, U-Everywhere system set up, and you set it up the way it's going through a niche domination. Sue?
Yep.
Is that accurate? Will that rank?
Yeah. I mean, if you do the citations and the Google My Business page, and you run through that whole thing that Jimmy told you to do, and then you do the WR1 and the WRS1, and you set up that whole thing, and then you do the blog boosts. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. If you go do the work on the blog boosting, it ranks. Now here's the kicker, guys. Over in Domain Web Studio, I usually add 5 extra articles to it. So those numbers are elevated anyway. So heck yeah, it's going to rank. It's going to rank faster than they thought it would because if it's telling them it's going to take 5 months to rank after they have 12 articles, and I've padded that by 5 articles. As soon as they got me 7 to 8 articles, the clock has started to tick.
Yeah.
So I've had it. So yeah, is the data accurate? Yeah, the data is accurate. Now, the only time I have had a blueprint that wasn't accurate is when it was like
Ooh.
actually there, and I forgot to change this from 30. That's painful, guys. You got to make sure the business rules and filters are set up correctly, which means you need to go through the couple of hours of training that Matt has in the members area. Um, Guys, that is a digital marketing blueprint. What questions do you have? Now, if you ask me how to sell this, I'm going to tell you to go watch Sell Blueprints first and join MDM3. That's where's your phone number? Go copy it, put your phone number on it. Not my job to put your phone number on it. You got to do something, buddy. Me, I got to eat my ice cream. It's good ice cream. Pistachio. Oh, to call your prospects.
It's ready.
Go do it. Go do it.
Awesome.
What time they go to bed? Are they still up? Call them.
Right?
No, I'm joking. Don't call them right now. It's almost not. It's after 8 o'clock my time.
What are these
Guys,
other,
give me a.
what are these other pages? I see you're only like halfway through the thingy dingy.
Yeah, but when I'm demoing it to people, I don't
Uh-huh.
go through all that.
Ah, okay.
I let them see that it's there. I just don't touch it.
Interesting but incomplete.
Yep. Um, for those of you there, it's the competitive analysis, and I might do this right here. Look, this is the important part, But then you also have the competitive analysis, the actual trends to where you can see what is people are searching for and when, what areas they are, and content distribution. And I'll click it that fast as I'm going through it. I don't pause on any of it, and I go right back to that page. The question is, are we going to go over lead generation and prospecting in MDM3? Yep, that's what we're going over. And pitching. You're going to become a master at this slide deck by the time you're done with MDM3. You'll be a mini Mike. There'll be mini me's. I'm creating mini me's. I'm so excited. Tyson. You know you want to be a mini me. Because, come on. I'm a fat guy. I know where the good food is. You don't go to a new town and look for the skinny guys to ask where the food is. You find the biggest guy you can find and go, hey man, where's the trough? Right? For those of you that are not from the country, the trough is where the pigs eat. That's right. Ribs. All right. Guys, any questions? Scott died on me again. Did y'all see that? Any other questions, guys, other than about where to get good ribs? Tyson, we'll talk later, man. We'll talk barbecue later. All right, Clint, we're gonna see you in MDM3, right? We'll see you on the inside. Dave, yeah, these spreadsheets are coming. Look, once you go through and you manage all the stuff in here, DWS. Once you organize your keywords, that is the export from DWS, right there.
Yep.
We just clean it up. We take the Excel spreadsheet and we clean it up and make it fit inside of a PowerPoint. And you know what? That's actually the confusion a lot of people have about building the blueprint is, Mike, where are you getting these tables from? We're getting them from the Excel spreadsheet. We're
Maybe
just
Liz could do like a quick 5-minute video that just shows how she cuts that down and makes those slides.
I don't know that that would be appropriate. She usually is cussing at the computer the whole time.
Well, we'll mute her.
Okay. It would need to be an uncensored one. No, guys, actually, Liz has done enough of them to where she has it done. It's me that's calling the computer names. You stupid piece of... You hear me using Klingon. All right, any questions, guys? We're not getting questions. Did we ask? Did we answer everybody's questions already? My pistachio ice cream is soft, but it is not melted. It's wonderful. All right, guys.
Love to have DWS. Dave, I'll check and see what your status is. It's okay,
Stephen, my
Coco.
pleasure. Coco, it's fine. Sue recorded it.
Yep. We got you covered.
Clint, yes, prospecting, pitching, and sales is the primary focus of MDM3. It's like a third of the entire course. All right, guys. Well, if there's no more questions, guys, thanks for coming to hang out with us. For those of you that this is your first impromptu webinar, welcome to the fun. Coco, can you upgrade from Pro to MDM? Yeah, message Sue. Hey, look, I got to volunteer Sue to do something.
You're just, Mike,
I'm on a roll today.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm getting myself in all kinds of trouble.
You right? Coco, let me give you the link to the help desk, and you put in a ticket, and one of us will help you out.
Yep.
You can go ahead and sign up for MDM, and we will get you canceled and refunded out of Pro.
Yeah, Dave says it's always hard to go out and get clients for SEO because sometimes it just wouldn't work. You know what, Dave? That's the same problems I had. That's why this was invented. I had to find a way to get out of that grind, and that's what blueprinting became for me. Was how I escaped the grind. And part of my thing was I thought this is what Sue and Russ were doing, so I was trying to copy them. Dave, you know what? The way you can sell something to where it will work every time is to not sell rankings, because there's no way to guarantee rankings will work every time. Unless you're Jimmy Kelly and can then just beat Google into submission because he's Jimmy Kelly. And I say that tongue in cheek, but
What?
if you're not selling rankings, if you're selling traffic, if you're selling traffic that generates ROI, you can always generate more traffic. If you get into a bind, throw some Facebook ads or pay-per-click ads at it for a week to get the traffic up. There's always a way to get more traffic. There's always a way to get people to the landing page. So, there's all kinds of things you can do. Nice, PJ. So PJ says that her client today said that there's so much more than just an SEO company, and that the client said it with pride. You know what? It feels good to be in that kind of position, doesn't it, PJ? And guys, here's the other thing. I love it when SEO guys try to pitch my clients now. I have one client that laughs at them. Like he's borderline rude to them when they try to pitch SEO. They're like, "Well, your website's not ranking for this." He goes, "Yeah, but I'm getting traffic. I don't care." They're like, "Yeah, but you can have more traffic." He's like, "I tell you what, you keep trying to sell me rankings from a company that is publicly traded, and there's no way you can manipulate it at the level you're going to promise me, because the SEC would pitch a fit because that could affect their stock rankings. You don't know how to talk about ROI. You don't know how to talk about business. You're a geek. Go work for somebody else. You shouldn't own a business." And that's how my clients treat SEO guys. It's, we just don't tell them that I'm an SEO guy that knows marketing. Just don't tell them that. Because we do. We sell the traffic. There you go, Dave. Dave says he had a site that they were having problems with Google, that he got nailed by Google, but they're still getting traffic from Pinterest. There you go. There's your traffic. If your traffic's converting, who cares where it comes from?
Exactly.
And Sue says it all the time. If more than 33% or 35% of your traffic's from Google, you're doing it wrong.
Yep. Setting yourself up for heartache.
Heartache. Because what if Google has a glitch and you get de-indexed? It has happened to many people. All right, guys.
We good?
We're good. Yep.
All right.
PJ, yes. The answer is yes. We'll talk about that later, though.
Yep.
PJ's asking MDM advanced questions on an impromptu webinar for everybody. We can't answer that here. Shh. And everybody's like, "What did she ask?"
Right?
Um, Jan, I don't know. Sue, where are we going to put this webinar? We're
I
going to
think
put it
yeah.
in the
I,
prep
I,
area?
I think it should go everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll go everywhere. We'll put it out there for everybody. All right, guys. Hey, thanks so much for coming and hanging out with us. I enjoyed it. We hope y'all did too. We'll see you on the inside.
Thanks, everybody.